Guys, I think history is being made today, mostly because for the first time ever in Tailosive tech history, this has never once happened before in any time period, any timeline. I was wrong. iPhone 12 mini isn't selling that well. Let's begin. Right, so this news is not coming from Apple directly because Tim Cook doesn't want to let us see his little spreadsheets anymore. But apparently the 12 mini is not selling as great as Apple was hoping, and they are converting a lot of the assembly lines that were dedicated to mass producing the iPhone 12 mini for the iPhone 12 Pro. This makes absolutely zero sense to me. I don't get it. I mean, personally, it's very anecdotal, but from the people I've seen in the, buying a new iPhone community, I highly doubt that there's just a huge number of consumers that were really passionate about getting a phone with LiDAR or a telephoto lens or an extra 2 gigs of RAM. That all sounds like very tech community things, which the tech community is not the majority of the smartphone market at all. In fact, we're probably like less than 10%. That's why Android fans who get excited for different phones that come out the year, they're always like not even close to being the best-selling phone of the year, and the phone everybody clowns on or the phone that nobody cares about ends up becoming like the top seller. Like, we're very disconnected as a tech community. So my best guess is that there's just a huge influx of people that see the word Pro on 12 Pro and instantly assume that means it's much better than the 12, so they might as well go with the 12 Pro, having no clue about the advantages it offers. They just see Pro and think, that's good. I really don't have any other explanation, and I feel like more people would probably buy the 12 if they knew how similar it actually was. But the 12 mini, there were several videos last year where I was predicting that, hey, maybe this could be a sleeping giant. Maybe this could be Apple's next big top seller, because for one, you're going to be getting all the latest stuff. You're getting the latest iPhone design. You're still getting an OLED display with that futuristic look. You're getting 5G for those who care about that type of thing. You're getting the A14 chip. You're still getting a fantastic set of cameras with HDR and Dolby Vision and all that crap, but it was way cheaper than every other iPhone in the lineup. And I also was anticipating that it could bring out a lot of people who haven't upgraded in a long time, because at least in my history, I'd seen a lot of people that had refused to upgrade their iPhone because all the new iPhones or new phones in the market in general were just all so big now. Everybody's going with 6 to 6.5 to 6.9 inch displays, and everyone's like, I just want a smaller, more compact device, and the 12 mini would have been perfect for that demographic that had not upgraded their phones in years. And perhaps that demographic is just kind of slow to upgrade. I mean, there's still probably some truth in the fact that, yeah, the Pro iPhones typically sell out or sell really well a lot sooner in the refresh cycle, because people who are techie and people who want the latest, greatest iPhone are more likely to buy the latest iPhone as soon as it's available, whereas the average consumer, someone who doesn't realize new iPhones come out in September or October, and they just upgrade at some point throughout the year, either they're finishing school and they're like, hey, you know what, I'm ready for a new iPhone, or the poor souls who are like, hey, it's August, I bet there's no new iPhone coming out next month, and then decide to upgrade in August. But maybe that demographic will start to see a bit more demand for the 12 mini market, but in the first couple months it's been out, it's honestly only been 2 months since the 12 mini launched, so we're dealing with a fairly small amount of time in the grand scheme of the marketplace. But either way, several reports are simply saying that the 12 mini sales are not doing as great as Apple was hoping, which honestly I'm pretty saddened by. The 12 Pro was the first iPhone I couldn't recommend really to anybody. I felt like the features it had over the regular 12 just did not justify the extra cost, and you were better off waiting till next year if you really cared about getting a Pro iPhone. But now, after using the 12 mini for over 60 days, I can very confidently say this phone is awesome. I'm in love with it, and I've gotten very comfortable with the form factor. I don't even really notice how compact it is. It just feels like a normal phone now, and the battery life, yeah, is somewhat of a concern, and maybe that's what scared most people away is, everyday consumers now are getting more comfortable buying a phone and holding on to it for 3, 4, 5 years. And if they know that on launch day, the battery life is going to be a little bit worse than their last iPhone, or not as good as the regular 12 or 12 Pro, then that just kind of scares them away, because maybe back in the day when smartphones were this small and this compact, people were kind of used to having weaker battery lives, and people were kind of comfortable upgrading their iPhone every other year. That was more common back in the iPhone 4 and 5 days, and it's definitely not not as common today because the features that iPhones get year after year are less impactful and less noticeable. So with that being the case, it probably makes people want to splurge a little bit more, you know, spend the extra $100 to get the 12 Pro. What's LiDAR? What's telephoto lens? I don't care. I'm not getting another iPhone for 5 years. I better upgrade and get the best thing I can right now. That way it's going to last me and age a lot better. And maybe the 12 mini just does not scream longevity as much. And the only people who are really interested in it, like me and Nick and Randy from the Tech Podcast, are people that know that, like, at the drop of a hat, we could upgrade to a new iPhone if we need to. We're going to be covering this stuff anyway. We're going to be talking about the later iPhones. And, you know, it'd be very easy for us to just suddenly and spontaneously say, you know what, 12 mini, not cutting it for me. Might as well go pick up another iPhone or some other one with a bigger size. Whereas other people who are doing their smartphone shopping only do their smartphone shopping like once a leap year, and then they don't think about it for the rest of the time in between. So it's a powerful and valuable lesson Apple might be learning with the 12 mini. They may be coming to understand that nostalgia and going back to the roots of some types of design does not always guarantee success. And I hope that's a lesson Samsung can learn with the Z Flip. Yes, there are a lot of people out there that used to like flippable phones, but that does not mean that everyone's gonna go back to buying one as soon as one becomes available. Similar thing here with the 12 mini. Yes, smartphones used to be this size. This used to be kind of the standard, and Apple has brought a lot of futuristic and premium features to this old traditional footprint that people can remember. And the few people I have seen during the pandemic that I've showed this to are always like, hey, this reminds me of the iPhone 5. I had a phone like this, except now, of course, the screen is way bigger and stuff. But that does not get people to upgrade, you know? They don't want just the old legacy design with the futuristic hardware. No, if they are getting a phone in today's day and age, bigger screens are the trend most people are comfortable with, shocking no one, and Apple has certainly found a very, very sweet spot with that 6.1-inch display. Now hearing that the 12 and 12 Pro are, like, driving the iPhone 12 success. And also keep in mind, because of the price point of the 12 mini, maybe Apple was anticipating it to sell like hotcakes, and the fact that it's not selling insanely well could just mean that it's selling fine. You know, it's selling average, and there's even some people speculating that the 12 mini, even if it's not selling great, is probably still going to sell a lot better than any other Android phone. So a couple more quarters will probably give us some more interesting data to work with when it comes to 12 and 12 mini sales. But I will fully admit my predictions were wrong about the 12 mini, and yeah, you can add that to the growing list of things I also got wrong in the past. What do you guys think of the 12 mini success, and why the heck do you watch my channel? Feel free to hit that unsubscribe button, slap that dislike button on your way out. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you guys in the next one.